Today, my friends, I have for you a breakdown of Sui Lalo at Town Hall 11. We're going to be breaking down everything within this video, along with going with some tips and tricks in order to deal with the enemy queen and the enemy CC. That's right, guys, we are going over Sui Lalo within this video. We're going to be breaking down everything like I said at the beginning. Now, the big thing that I want you guys to understand is the difference between the two names Sui and Lalo. The Sui means Sui hero or suicide hero. You're typically going to be using your king and queen to get some sort of value from the base. This will include things like maybe the queen if she's somewhat close to the outside, and also dealing with the enemy CC. Now, I do remember in the past when I covered this at Town Hall 10, a lot of people asked me about how to deal with the CC. In this case, the Stone Slammer with a dragon or an E-drag can be used to kill off the enemy CC. But what you're looking for with the Sui hero is typically things like any outer sort of buildings in order to take out. This includes things like air defenses, infernos, wizard towers, maybe even expos if you can, be able to hit them. Outside of that, that is the small value that you're getting. When we play this one in particular, I want you guys to really take a look at what the attacker is doing with his Sui Lalo. The idea is you want to use the king first of which to create the funnel for your queen to charge in with the ice golem, which you can see the legend here is bringing. The big thing here that you really want to try and make sure that you're doing is carving out an area. That way it's easy enough for the queen to just charge her way in. That is one really big tip I can give you guys in terms of using a Sui hero. And this isn't just using the Sui Lalo. You can also apply this to things like the Electron Lalo. It is definitely still fairly similar. So you'll see that we're using a super wall breaker in order to break into that area. And the reason that we're using the ice golem is to use that freeze in order to allow our queen to get some free shots on different buildings and or defenses. It really allows us to get some sort of value as we enter in. So you'll see from here is that we are getting rid of the multi-inferno and the queen due to them being very close together. This is going to allow us to get a lot of good value from this. So this is a good way to deal with the enemy queen if you don't have a skelly spell. If you notice this and you can break in, you can easily deal with the queen with using either the queen or using your queen or using a skelly spell. It's really going to be up to you. Now I want you guys to really pay attention to this as we go through. I wanted to pause it here just so I can catch up. The big thing is that we're starting with the slammer, so that way it goes in like this, and then we have the lava hound and the lava loon portion starting to drive into the base, kind of like this. So that is what we're going to be seeing. But I want to stay focused onto one more specific thing, which is going to be here dealing with the dragon. You can see that there is a damage CC here. However, all we have to do is poison it, and using that dragon that is within that Stone Slammer, that is going to allow us to take care of that CC. And that is a really easy way for you guys to be able to deal with a lot of these very, very easily. Now the lava loon portion, just to catch up here, as you saw as we were entering into the base, we used those lava hounds adjacent from those air defenses to soak up any seeking air mines. Remember that you want to make sure that you are getting things like seeking air mines, which aren't really a big deal to balloons, but another thing is to deal with the red air bombs. Those are going to be the ones that you want to make sure that you are pulling with your lava hound, which is the reason why we sent in our lava hound almost like this across the base in order for us to have a bigger chance of soaking up any of those traps up. And as that air defense was being taken out, they were able to go over to this one and soak up any of those air traps over on that side. Now with the haste spells, which is something that, I try to always explain, as well as the loons, of course. The balloons, you should know that it's around 2 to 3, loons per defense, which is really, really important in terms of point defenses. Other defenses, though, like wizard towers, may take 4. Expos may take 5, the Eagle may take 7. That is what you've got to really incorporate into your attack and really learn from. And that kind of gives you guys a solid idea. And then with the haste spells, make sure that you're using them to get to those defenses like the Wizard Towers, the Expos, the Inferno Towers, the Air Defenses. Those are always going to be very, very important. Now, what about the heal spell? And a lot of the time, you will be bringing a heal with your attack. What this means is you are using it towards the back end of the base or when you're charging into a multi. That is going to give you guys the best sort of value for your, basically for your heal spell. And that can really leave you with the Warren ability either early or later on in the attack. It's really up to you, and also depending on how the base is designed and how you can work through it. Other than that though, that gives you guys a really solid example. This is kind of a good basic introduction into it, where you guys can really learn from how you guys can actually do this. Now let's go ahead and move on into another example where we're going to be showing you guys how to deal with the enemy CC by luring it out with the heroes. That's right, guys, we have another example of the Sui Lalo. This one, we are going to be looking at how to lure out the CC in terms of dealing with it with the Sui hero. So this is a really easy way in order to identify. You just need to look at how big the radius is and where you can Sui hero. Sometimes this means you could send in a couple balloons and use a haste spell to lure out the CC and also take down some of the defenses. Most of the time, this will work very well, especially if there is an E-drag or even a damaged CC within there. It shouldn't be too difficult for you to easily lure that out and be able to take it out. In this example here, I want you guys to really take a look at what the attacker is doing in terms of his Sui hero. So what we want to make sure that we're doing though is, again, we want to make sure that we are creating some sort of pathing for the queen to charge her way in. We have the Coco Loon there with the baby dragon. In order for that baby dragon to stay alive, if there were any seeking air mines, that balloon would be able to soak that seeking air mine up and be able to sort of protect that baby dragon. On top of this, if we take a look right here at the Sui hero going in, you'll see that we're dealing with the enemy CC. We're luring it out with the king, and that is really good because what that allows us to do, if the king goes down, we can use the queen and the poison to take care of that damage CC, which is a bunch of archers and witches, but that's still a really easy way for you guys to deal with the enemy CC. And that is just gonna net you a lot of value. So this is where you guys can really use the Skelly spell to deal with the enemy queen. Unless, of course, the enemy queen's on the outside, then you don't really need to need to worry about that. You don't need to bring a Skelly spell, but definitely it would be a good idea. You'll see that we froze up the air sweeper just so that then we could allow our stone slammer to take down that eagle, which is definitely very important here. But you'll see that as we're sending in our lava loon, we're making sure that we're sending it in as we are, sort of sending in our skellies. And the biggest thing here is that we were sending them in, sending the hounds in first and then the loons right behind. Now this is where, as you can see, our balloons are driving towards the bomb tower. What this means is that that bomb tower will be taken down and the skellies can easily take down the queen. So if we go ahead and sort of zoom in here just to show you guys what is going on, you guys can see that we are able to take down the queen thanks to some of those lava pups and to the skellies. And that really is going to be able to really net you guys a lot of really good value from there. And as that stone slammer is still up, we still have the lava loon portion going through. We don't have any more hounds. However, we do still have the Warden ability and the heal. So we can definitely make sure that we can keep all of our balloons alive, either using the heal spell like you saw from there with the max balloons from the stone slammer, and then also using the Grand Warden ability with our balloons that we brought in with the lava loon portion in order to keep them alive, and then all those haste spells just getting their way right through the base. And that kind of gives you guys another really good example, and this was a little bit quicker of an example just to kind of talk to you guys about dealing with the CC. Now we've got another example of dealing with the queen and the CC with a dragon in the Stone Slammer. That way it's a lot easier for you guys to really use this against, basically against those centralized CCs is what I'm trying to talk about. But let's go ahead and move on into that one. Now we are going to be starting off with another example here, and we are just going to allow it to play through. I'll pause it if necessary, but you'll see that we're dealing with a single Inferno and a multi-Inferno within this base. This is good because we can definitely identify that we can enter into that area, even though that the sweeper will be some sort of issue. So what's good here is we won't be able to lure out the CC, but we will be able to deal with it with the dragon that is in the CC. Now remember that you can use an E-drag within your Stone Slammer. It is another possible way for you to get some sort of value. Now from here you'll see that we didn't really take down any of the air defenses. That is completely fine. What that means is we are going to have to use 3 lava hounds and a lot more balloons to get through an entire section of the base. So realistically, as we're sending in the Stone Slammer, we're then sending in the lava loon. We used a test loon just to soak up any seeking air mines, and then we can use that Stone Slammer to take care of the dragon CC, which is why we're going to be poisoning, raging, and also using the freeze to freeze up both the queen and the enemy CC. And then as you can tell from here is that we're allowing ourselves, as everything is moving through, to use the haste spells, to use the freeze spells, to use the heal spells, or using the heal spell in order to sort of gut an entire section. Even though the queen is targeting onto the warden and the warden will go down, it's still completely fine, as the big picture here is really making sure that your Lalo goes smoothly. So the freeze spell being used over the multi and the wizard tower is really good freeze value, as we're going to be able to survive both of those and keep a lot of our balloons alive to go through the rest of the base. And then we're just going to deal with the queen by just having those lava pups there. That is really good. Sometimes that may happen. This wasn't a perfect example of using that Stone Slammer to sort of clear up both the queen and the CC, but it gives you guys another really good idea in terms of how to deal with a damaged CC, whether it be a dragon or whether it be an E-drag or even just a regular damaged CC. It's definitely very, very important for you guys to really take a look at each of those topics, and it really just allows you guys to really see further into a strategy like this. Now, with all of that being said, we're going to move on into one of our last examples, really going over what about when, there is basically a CC that has a lava hound or even a golem in there, and how can we deal with the queen on those type of bases. In this final replay that we have here for you guys, we want to sort of show you guys how to deal with the bases where they have a lava hound in the CC or even a golem in the CC. There were a couple in this war, so definitely this is a great example, and using the quad lava loon, which is definitely one of my more favorite strategies that I haven't seen in a long time. With that being said, it's still a very simple strategy to go through. All you need to do, though, is clear up an area for your attack, which you don't even need to worry about the CC. The CC is no longer a problem. It's just going to be dealing with the queen. And of course, there is going to be a bomb tower most likely in a lot of these areas, meaning that you want to make sure that you're dropping your rage spell so that the balloons who do go over to the bomb tower do take it out. So I want to go ahead and play it for you guys just in order to see what goes on. So you'll see that what we're going to be doing first is we are going to be dropping in with our Sui hero first. And our Sui hero is not looking for too much. All it's looking for is just for getting that air defense. And that's going to allow us to sort of get some pathing from that for our lava loon portion. We're using the king first. We don't have a baby dragon because we want our queen to go and take down that the air defense, so that then we can send in our Stone Slammer to go towards the Inferno to start off our lava loon. And that is really where you guys want to start to kick that off. If you can't get the Inferno with the queen, then you'll definitely get it with the Stone Slammer. So you will have the chance to be able to take that down. And we're just creating some of that easy pathing. Again, we're using a Coco Loon for that Seeking Air, or for any of the Seeking Air Mines, but more specifically for that Stone Slammer. But as you can see, we're starting off with our Lava Loon here, setting them in so that then they can pull any traps from that side. And I want to really quickly go through this, and you guys can see from here is that when we're dealing with the queen, we're going to be dropping in a freeze and then the rage and then the skeletons, because you can see from here is that the rage is going to allow those balloons to take down the bomb tower, and then the skellies are going to be able to clear up that queen over the, on top of that rage. And then just going through with the balloons and everything as they start to move through, you just need to make sure that you're using that heal spell towards the back end of the base in order to keep a lot of those balloons alive as they get through the multi-inferno compartment. And that's really all you need to know about this one in terms of knowing when to use the haste spells, when to use the free spells, and when to use that heal spell, because that is going to be the much more bigger aspect in terms of this. And you guys saw a lot of really good examples, how to deal with the queen, how to deal with the enemy CC, and it was a really easy way for me to sort of break this down for you guys. So I hope that this helps you guys improve your Lava Loon, and on top of that, I hope that it does help a lot. Remember that you guys can feel free to follow me on all my social medias. All the links to them are in the description, and if you guys want to support me further, feel free to go ahead and join as a channel member, maybe even subscribe to me over on Twitch, or even go ahead and buy any merch from my Playmakers Wanted store. And if you want to join any of the clans that I cover, the links are in the description of this video in order to, go check out any of my clans that I do cover. And don't forget, guys, to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything, and to join the Corrupt fam. But with that being said, guys, that is going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Remember to check out this video here, that it is definitely going to be a very good video, and I hope that it does help you a lot. With that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.